Okay, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Do the Work with me, your host, Madeline Hewitt. And this week, we have our very first special guest, Bridgette Oduro. Okay, go ahead. We're going to have to do a disclaimer. This is not our first rodeo. We actually tried to do this 2 weeks ago. We sat right here, recorded a whole ass episode. Like, it was literally like an hour and 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was so good. I was so happy with it. We were vibing. We were flowing. Y'all, I go back and turn the sound on. It was my first time doing two people, right? So I really had no idea what I was doing. So not an audio engineer over here. So I figured I was going to learn something my first time doing it. The audio was fucked. Like, it was just... we would talk and then it would pop and then it would static and then it was just a whole thing. Really tragic, honestly, but I thought it was good. So happy to have you back.
Happy to be back.
Take two.
Happy to be back.
And we have Bear this time, which I'm super excited about. This is Bridgette's son.
This is my angel, Bear.
And then Louie's made an appearance before, but here's Louie. So yeah. I'm excited. I feel like we've got it all figured out now. I've got a whole little setup, watched quite a few hours worth of YouTube trying to figure this all out. Honestly, the video was shit too. So, you know what? We're just going to glass half full. It was probably meant to be.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
We always say
this
that.
One's going to be even better.
Yes.
And here we go.
Yes.
So, little update since even last time we talked. Bridgette, you've signed your lease.
I signed a lease. I'm moving and it's official and I don't feel like it's hit me yet.
Yeah, it's like soon. She's going to Austin.
Yes.
In like how many days?
I actually downloaded a countdown thing on my phone and I think it's like 41 days or so I'm going to be moving. Yeah.
Wait, that's actually so
It's really, really soon and I have lived in Atlanta or in Georgia most of my life, Atlanta for the past 8-9 years. So yeah, I don't know. It hasn't hit me yet.
41 days. I feel like also we have like such a packed social calendar leading up to this.
Yeah.
Like summer's always busy in Atlanta. We always have things going on, but especially this next like month is just boom, boom, boom.
No, like every single weekend in May we have something going on.
It's gonna fly by.
And then June is when I'm moving, like beginning of June.
Which is crazy.
I know.
Okay, so nervous, not nervous, feeling good about it?
I feel like a good nervous, like a good excitement. Yes. I don't feel anxious about it, which I think is a really good thing. And I think it's really telling that I don't feel anxious, but nervous because it's something I've never done before. Yes. Nervous because it's going to be something completely new.
Yes.
Nervous because I don't know like what's on the other side of it. I don't really know what to expect. So just a lot of
exciting part about it.
It's exciting and it's nerve-wracking.
Exactly.
And usually I don't like the unknown. And I have no control over this. I also like to be in control, and I'm just kind of like letting it.
You're also a big planner, and this is like the first time I feel like, especially since I've known you, where like you kind of don't have like a plan. Like you're just, I mean, you have everything in order, but like what life's going to look like in a year, you really have no idea.
No clue. Like, absolutely no clue. And I think that that's really exciting, but also very nerve-wracking.
It's so nerve-wracking. And, like, I'm officially, well, not officially, as in I have not signed my lease yet, but I am moving to Chicago. Yay.
Very excited.
I have the sublease figured out. I've got it found. I've talked to the guy. He's awesome. I should have the lease this week to sign.
The place is perfect.
Yes, it's so cute. It's a little studio. Yeah. You've got a big space.
I've got a bit. Well, it's smaller than my space now.
Your place now is like...
Yeah, I know. Oh, there goes Barry.
That's like the rarest thing I've ever seen. Your place now is massive.
Yeah, I have an almost 900 square foot one bedroom apartment, which is not very common. But yeah, my new place is going to be like 700. So a little smaller, but still big. Definitely still big. Yeah.
I'm going to be in a nice little studio, less than 600 square feet. Actually, like 530 something. It's tiny. Okay. But I think I'm excited about it because I think it's going to be nice and cozy, and I'm going to do the studio life, which I've never done before.
I'm very excited to come visit her in Chicago. Yes. It's been on my bucket list forever to visit Chicago.
We're going to have to obviously do St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day 2024.
I am going to have to come to ACL for sure.
We have so many. I feel like we have so many things planned for like the second half of the year. And I'm so looking forward to it. I feel like the second half of the year is going to look so different than the first half.
Which is wild. And it's one of those things people say all the time. It's crazy what a difference a year can make. But your life can actually completely change within a year. And I think this year is going to be the biggest year for like a lot of us in the friend group, but like definitely us too.
Yeah.
So really big things that we're doing.
Very big.
I don't know. It's super exciting, but I'm nervous for sure.
What are you most nervous about?
Making friends. So I've never had to really make friends on my own as an adult. Like college, it's so easy to make friends. You're just around people 24/7.
Yeah.
I had you and Natalie, which was just an open door to all of these people. When I was at Georgia, it was just really easy. There was people in my dorms. There was people at the gym. Like it's easy. They're just surrounded. And like now I'm going to be in this big city. And like I do know a few people in Chicago, but like no one that's like right up underneath me, best friend type of thing,
like that you could do anything with anybody whenever, you know.
Which is definitely what I wanted because I want to have that experience and kind of push myself outside of my comfort zone. That's really what I was looking for. But it's definitely nerve-wracking because like people already have established friend groups the older you get and like long-term friends that they've had, and like I feel like I've changed so much even since the beginning of the year that like it's going to be also I'm going to be sober.
Yeah. Like, and like having to explain that. Well, like, you know how many times you're going to have to give a spiel.
Exactly. And like that's going to be weird. Like, and also every friend I've made generally has been in like a party environment. Like I've been like drunk or going out or like, so that's going to be dating sober.
Everyone's gonna be like, are you good?
So like, did you have a problem?
No, I know.
Be like, no. I literally wasn't an alcoholic. I'm just
it's a good conversation starter though.
That's a good conversation starter. It is.
And it's a good way to see if somebody understands like your wavelength and like whatnot, or you know,
for sure. And it's not going to be a forever thing, but I am going to make all of my friendships in a clear headspace. And like
you'll be able to vet people.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for sure. What are you most nervous about?
I mean, I guess I would also say like making friends. Like I just feel like like the older that you get, the more people have like their established friend groups, and you don't want to be like, hey, like, can I just join? You know what I'm saying? And like, college, you become friends with people because you're around them 24/7, so you don't have to put as much effort in. The older that you get, well, with us and our friends, because we already had such established friendships, like we wanted to put in effort as we got older, but like it's really, really hard when you don't have a foundation with somebody to like, okay, so when are you free? Oh, I'm free in 2 Fridays. And then you don't see them for 2 Fridays and you aren't already close. So like, you're not going to be like texting them every day in between. Like if we don't see each other for a few days, we're texting literally every single day. You aren't going to be texting somebody you just met every single day. You're not going to talk to them until you see them next.
It's these things you don't think about.
So it's like so much harder to like get closer faster.
And people have lives now. Like we have full work schedules. People have like commitments. They've got family stuff. They've got already other friends that they have to tend to. Like it really is like, can you pencil me in?
No,
like,
and it's literally like even with our friends, sometimes I feel like it's like if we're trying to get everybody together, it's like, oh, this day, oh, somebody can't do it because they have something going on. Okay, so it's like, okay, 3 weekends from now or 4 weekends from now, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z. So
it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be very interesting.
It will be nice having Carrie and Nat there. So one of our best friends, Natalie, she already moved to Austin, and then Carrie will be moving about the same time as Bridgette. So like that'll be helpful for sure. Yes, I'm very excited to have them with me. When you want it, and when you don't, like you still can, do your own thing. But it was really similar actually when I went to college. Like I remember
people were like telling me and Allie not to room together and like do our own thing. And it was just nice having somebody that was like my best friend, and like we could go out and make friends together. Like we made friends separately and then like introduce each other to the friends that we made. So nice. And like,
it takes the pressure off.
It does. It definitely does. Yeah.
And it takes the awkwardness off. You don't have to feel like you have to go do things alone.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be a lot of times where like I'm doing things alone. Simply because I like don't. But like, I think I'm going to try out the apps. Yeah. I think I'm going to try out the apps like kind of off bat, because I've been listening to other podcasts that say that one, like, I want to try Bumble Friends. I don't know. Okay. It'll be a hit or miss.
Yeah.
But I'm going
to try
it. And I'm going to try Meetup, because there's groups and stuff.
I've never heard of that. No.
So Meetup is an app where there's like different groups that are made on it, like Facebook pages, kind of like Facebook groups, but it's people with like similar interests. So there's like hiking groups, there's like book clubs, there's like people that like to watch sports, people that, and then it's like groups of those people and they get together and do things.
Okay. I like that.
You should download it.
I like that.
Meetup.
I like
it's
that.
Cool.
I like that.
So I'm going to try and like find some groups that like I'm into. I really want to try and find a music group in Chicago because like I want someone to go to shows with, or like we love to go dancing on a weekend night. We'll be out at a bar or dinner or whatever, and it's like we just want to go dance. And like I want to find friends that like
want to dance.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
definitely. I feel that.
So I'm going to try that, and then obviously dating.
The dating apps.
I'm on them. I'm going to be on them.
The dating apps. I honestly feel like in a new city, it can be really beneficial, because even if you aren't, I mean, you're on there to date, but you could also just meet cool people. Yeah. And you can meet people that like give you recommendations of places to go, or maybe they introduce you to other people. I just feel like it's another, at first I was kind of like, I might just like stay off of everything, just do it the old fashioned way. But I feel like it could be beneficial to just do it right off bat.
It's like, I was listening to the Girls Gotta Eat podcast. Have you ever listened to that podcast?
I don't think so.
It's phenomenal.
No, I haven't.
First of all, it's really, really good. They spend like the first half of the podcast just like shooting the shit with each other. It's two best friends. Yeah. And then they usually have like a guest or a topic that they talk about. But they were talking about moving to New York, and then they moved again to LA. Okay. And they said that with both moves, dating was their number one way that they made girlfriends. Because they would date a guy, and even if they didn't like hit it off with them, it would be like there's friend vibes, and then they would invite them to a party or something like that, and then they would meet their girlfriends through them. And they were like, it's way more like normal than you would think it was. And I was like, I didn't even think
that's
about
really
that.
Smart. Yeah, now I feel like I'm for sure going to do that.
Right? And I'm like, and like, I mean, honestly, if I was a guy, it would kind of suck. Imagine how expensive it is to date.
I'm using you to find girlfriends. Right? Sorry, you know, it is what it is.
It's like, not only do I get a free dinner out of it, but like,
I get friends.
I get friends too. And
I mean, I did meet one of my best friends through my ex. You did. I mean, it does work.
She's phenomenal.
And she's still our friend.
Like, so it happens.
It works,
It definitely happens. Daisy, that was at the park with us last weekend, Christina's friend, she is new to Atlanta, and she said that she met 3 of her girlfriends through a date. I was like, okay.
All right, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
I also hope to, like, you know,
maybe meet someone. Yeah,
maybe.
Exactly.
Also, I just need someone to, like, show me the restaurants and, like, show me the bars.
I 100% need someone to just give me recommendations and let me know what's up.
I mean, I've started following, like, the Instagram pages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like...
No, you need someone that like knows the city, that's like from there.
Yeah, that like knows like the stuff that's not on the Instagram.
Like if somebody was to come to Atlanta, things that we would be able to show them, kind of vibe.
That's what I want to find.
Yes.
I'm also not trying to get into a relationship though, like right off the bat.
Yeah, no, I think it's especially in a new city, because you don't want your entire life to become someone in a brand new place. You want to do your own things, spread your wings, live your life.
I want no strings attached.
No strings attached.
Just
a little bit. Just a little bit.
Like, you know, it'd be nice. Like,
because you have moved before and you were dating someone.
Immediately got into a relationship, and it honestly ruined the entire experience.
Yeah. Like, you didn't get to really experience it.
At all.
Yeah, can't do it.
Not doing that again. No. Lesson learned. No, we are not repeating that. No. On the topic of dating, though, I feel like we're both in a space where, like, we're ready when the time is right. Like, we are ready to, like, do that again.
Yeah. No.
Like, I feel like I haven't been there until now, where I'm like, I feel like if it came to me, like, I would be in a good place to do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is the first time in like my adult life that I've been like just single for real and just kind of doing my own thing. I feel like ever since I was in my 20s,
that's so true,
I was just like with somebody all the time, and now I feel like I've been by myself, and I feel like I'm just like the best version of that's so cliche,
but it's so, that is so cliches are cliches for a reason.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, it's true though. Like, we did have very different 20s experiences, relationships wise, but I do feel like this past like year or so, like longer for you, shorter for me, has been like the time where like we've gotten like ourselves together.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
And I feel like it was the universe like preparing us for this big like life change that we were going to go through, that we didn't even know that we were going to go through at the time.
Like a year, like we were just saying, so much can happen in a year.
So much.
A year ago, would not have thought that this is what was happening at all.
No.
Like, and that means a year from now, we're going to be looking back on this, and we're going to be like, remember when we were talking about how much things can change in a year?
Absolutely crazy. Like, a year ago, I was in the headspace where, like, I was going to be okay if I, like, moved out to the burbs and, like, got into a really long-term relationship. And, like, that was, but I was also, like, so obsessed with the idea of the relationship that I was in that, like, I really thought that was kind of the direction that my life was going.
It is crazy how when you're in a relationship like that and you are really truly in love, love is blind, and that's a real thing. It's just like what you convince yourself sometimes that you want, that you look back on and you're like, did I actually want that at all?
No, 100%. It's like the lifestyle that I kind of has been like trying to get away from ever since I moved out of my parents' house. Is that like classic suburban family, like maybe one day, like yes, but like
you thought you wanted it right now, but like now you're like, I don't want. Now you're moving to a big city and like doing the absolute complete opposite of that. Yeah, no, love is blind. That's a real thing.
Love is so blind. But I will say, like, I'm so thankful for this past year because one, that like I needed to know that relationship, like if that had not all happened and ended, like I would not be taking these big steps that I'm in right now. Because I would have just, it was always a what if, right? And like that needed to happen. It needed to end. It needed to be done. I can close that chapter. But also like taught me so much about, like, I don't think I would have started working on myself had that relationship not like fallen apart the way that it had.
No, right? Like, I think that like obviously it sucked in the moment for you, but like in the long run, it's like, okay, you had like it sucked for however long. Say it sucked for 3 months or 6 months or however long. In the long run, for the rest of your life, you're going to be so glad that happened and that it was sucky for that time.
It's just crazy when, like we're saying, looking back, like you don't know in the moment, like how pivotal things are or how big moments are in your life until you can look back and reflect on them. And it's like everything happens for a reason saying, like, sometimes it's hard to connect the dots until you're, like, way far removed from the situation. And it's so gratifying to, like, look back on something and be like, I now see how A, B, C, and D got me to exactly where I am right now. And it makes all of those shitty things that happen so worth it.
I agree. And I think that it's like with good and bad things. That sometimes when something big is happening in your life, you don't realize it. It's like a really amazing moment that you're going to look back on. And Bear.
They're protecting the house, okay? From nothing.
Like that saying, it's like, I wish I knew that I was like in the good old times before, like I was out of it or whatever. But like, same thing with something bad. Like you don't realize how pivotal or how much better it's going to make your life later on. You're just like, damn, this sucks right now. But I do always try to remember that even when something bad is happening to me, that like it's happening for a reason. And that, like, my life, everything is going to happen exactly how it's supposed to.
You are such an optimistic person.
And it's going to be good. I'm like, because I don't know. If it's delusion, it might be delusion.
I would rather be delusional like you than pessimistic on the other end. Honestly, because what a way to, like, how is that a way to go through life? Like, constantly seeing the negative in situations or the worry or the anxiousness and, like, just how shitty life can be sometimes. Like, who wants to live like that?
Hell no. God. I always am like, I don't know what's coming for me in life, but it's going to be good. That's all I know.
Yep.
Because I'm like, I'm a good person, so I should have good things come to me.
Yes. Karma, baby. Your karma is good.
Mindset.
Your karma is good.
Yeah.
It's working in your favor.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
In terms of relationships and kind of what you see maybe for your next chapter, do you what do you kind of want to take from your past that you kind of want to gain versus like what you kind of want to leave in that last chapter?
Yeah, the absolute first thing that comes to my mind of something that I want is a best friend. Yes. Like, I think that is
numero uno.
And there's so many things that obviously go into that. Obviously, there's a lot of really important characteristics. Like, you want someone that's kind, and you want someone that's loving, and you want someone that's, loyal, and all of these things. I think that having somebody that is like a best friend to you is somewhat rare, but it just creates a foundation and like the environment for a relationship to like really, really be solid. I don't know. I think that you have to,
and it makes you want to work for it in a way that like
that,
loving,
this
loving
is my
someone
person.
Isn't enough, right?
Yeah,
so like you have to like that person. You have to like want to work on yourself and the other person and y'all two together, and like we said last time, like liking someone and loving someone are two different things. And that like best friend vibe is like you like them and you love them.
Yes. And that is the dream.
Oh,
that is the dream.
That's the good stuff.
Yes. I mean, it is, you can definitely like who someone is as a person, but like sometimes people can like someone and they don't really have a lot of respect for them.
God, that's...
And it's just, there's so many things that come into like actually loving someone, and that really is a choice.
It is. Oh, it's 100%
that is
a choice.
It really is a choice. Love is also not enough. You have to work at it every day with people, and you guys both have to want it equally. Some people say that the guy has to want it more than the girl. I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
I think it's partially because we, by nature, by whatever you want to call it, are naturally more nurturing. We are naturally more like, I don't know, the feelings are deep. I don't want to say deeper. They're
we show, I think men and women love differently.
Well, very differently.
I do think that it works a little,
where the guy's like maybe a little more obsessed,
a little bit more,
yeah, a little, like not like the scales are not tipping here, but like I need you to like,
yes. I mean, we know what we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever had that in a relationship where it was like mutually like we both wanted it the same. Obviously, it's not always going to be like that 100% of the time in a relationship, but like I don't think I've ever been in a relationship where it was even remotely equal.
Really?
Yeah. I don't.
I definitely think that I was.
You definitely
I think that I definitely was, but at the same time, and like, I mean, on my first one, I'm like, okay, so if we both want to be together, why are you doing things that are going to cause us to break up?
Yes.
That is my question.
Why are you playing this game?
Why are you doing these things? The
lessons that we learn.
Oh, the lessons that we learn. But I'm grateful for everyone.
Exactly. Like, I don't think like either of us would put up with half the shit that we've put up with.
Oh, absolutely not. But you know what is crazy that I think about all the time? I don't know. Even when I was 20, I thought I was so
mature.
Grown. I thought I was so mature. I thought that like I don't know. I just thought, not that I thought I had life figured out by any means, but I just like, if I was making a decision, I was like, this is the right decision. Like, this is, like I'm clear head. Like I thought I would, you know what I'm saying? And like every year that goes by, I look back to things that I thought or did or said, and I'm like, why did I do that?
Why?
And I'm like, gosh, what am I doing now that I'm going to look back on 2 years from now and be like, why the fuck did I do that?
It also puts our age into perspective, right? Because like, I remember I used to think 27 was like ancient.
No, I was like, you're 25, you should be married with a child.
Exactly.
Like that's, and now I'm like,
oh my God.
Now I feel like 25 is like very young.
Very young. And I'm just like,
But when I was 20 years old, which was like my senior year of college, I thought I would be married by the time I was 25.
Oh, yeah. Imagine if you married the person you were with at 25. Imagine if I married the person I was with at 25. Well, Jesus, take the wheel.
I just really am. Absolutely. I can't help but to laugh at that. That's absolutely hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious. Also, like, I was in no headspace to be doing such a thing.
I had no headspace to be even thinking about that.
Nope.
At 20, the situation that I was in?
Absolutely not. Oh, my God. No. Thank God for the things that we've been through, honestly. And I do think that, like, it will make us so much better the next time it comes around. Yeah. But for now, we're on our single girl shit, and I'm excited for us. We're going to have a hot girl summer. It's going to be fun. We're going to do all of the things before you leave, before I leave.
I know. It's going to be crazy.
We have a friend leaving every month for the next 4 months, right?
I know. And like
May, June, July, August,
we're going to have so many places to visit, but this is going to be so different for all of us.
Yeah, it's going to be weird.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird. Like, we're going to have to maintain some sort of, like, I don't know, some way to like stay connected.
Like once a week, like group, whatever you want to call it, Zoom.
Exactly.
I don't know.
No, yeah, maintaining friendships is going to get harder the older we get, especially the more spread out that we get. Like that's going to be, that's going to be something that's difficult. But it's also like I do see friendships like you and Natalie that's been, 20 years strong now, which is insane. Like every time I actually think about how long y'all have been friends, it like blows my mind because even though it's like the younger years and like like y'all have gone through so many phases as human beings in the amount of time that you've been friends, and like your ability to like maintain is so rare.
Like
so rare.
I think back and I'm like, okay, so literally since I was like 6 years old. So it's like, okay, my first crush, her first crush. So it's like music that you liked when you were a kid, like your first boyfriend, like the first time you drink alcohol, like the first party you go to, and just so much stuff that we've been. And like now that we're older, sometimes I think and I'm like, dude, Natalie is literally married. Like
she's literally
I'm married. Like, we're old enough to like be married and like we're adults. Like
actually wild.
And like me and Natalie were never two people that like talked about like getting married and all that stuff when we were younger. I know some girls, I feel like that's the thing, like they dream about their wedding, and like we never really did.
Never was my thing either.
Yeah, no. And I think back and I'm like, Natalie's literally married.
She's actually whole
like she is
married.
Like her name is not Natalie Swift anymore.
Like first anniversary married, like a whole year. She sent that in the group the other day and I was like, what?
A whole year. Been married.
Life flies by.
Life flies by,
dude.
It
flies by. And that's just like something that, as we do move to these new cities and make these new friends, like there is something to be said for history and the fact that like none of these new friends will have known me in college. They won't have known that shit show.
They would have never. They miss a lot of good nights.
They miss a lot of good nights, and like God forbid I like actually stay sober. Like they are gonna miss out on all.
They're gonna miss out. You can show videos. We got the proof. We got
Marsha,
the proof.
Man, that bitch might need to stay in the closet.
I wouldn't mind seeing her too.
Yeah,
a time or two
like
again. I wouldn't mind seeing her.
This New Year's is our 10-year friendiversary.
I know. That's crazy. That also makes me feel so old.
Right?
But like 10 years is,
that's like not a small feat either. Like that's a long time.
And we've seen each other through a lot of different phases. Because like I feel like in college you're different like every single year, or even every single semester.
No, I definitely do feel like, and obviously like, I think we've said this before when we've been talking about like just us getting older. We have only scratched the surface of like what we're going to go through in life. Like honestly, it's just going to get more and more serious the older that we get. That the things are going to get bigger. They're going to get more like life changing, more like life just deep, I guess, the older, at least that's how I think it's going to be.
I mean, hopefully, right? We don't have a lot of like life shattering major events. I mean, there are some that are gonna happen, gonna be out of our control. But yeah, when I think about the fact that like none of us are married other than Natalie.
Mm-hmm. None of us know. We've not met who we're gonna marry yet.
This is. I don't want to. I'm not jinxing any of us, but like divorce is pretty common.
Oh, it's within our friend group.
The chances of someone getting a divorce in a friend group is very high. At least one group, at least one person.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm just like, and that's just one of the things. Like, I mean, God forbid, but there's like sicknesses, there's like getting older, and like there's so much that we have yet to see in life, and like we think that things that no, we have gone through things in the past. But it's just, the older you get, you have more that's at stake. Yeah,
more that's at stake. That's a great way to put it.
It's just, we don't know what's to come.
No, but that's why these friendships are so important. Yeah. And like why we do have to make such an effort as we do move away and life does get busier to like maintain these friendships and like give them the water that they need to grow so that like we don't find ourselves waking up one day with something happening in our lives
and no one to call. Oh God. And I do think that like even when we do see each other, it'll be even sweeter because we'll see each other like a few times a year, I think. I mean, holidays, I'm sure we'll go on a couple birthday trips. I think that it will make the trips we go on and all of that like that much sweeter and that much better.
I agree. Because we take some killer trips.
Yeah, and it's like, I haven't seen you in 3 months. Tell me everything. Exactly. I mean, we still would have been talking, but still, it's just different to see each other in person.
Exactly. It's like when we see Em. It's like, she's been gone in California for years now. And it's like, every time we see her, it's like...
It feels like she never left.
Exactly.
And like, and I think that that's how we'll all be. Yes. Honestly.
Yes. It will be very... Even like this year, I think the first time that we'll really see each other after we move... Well, we're going to Colorado.
ACL.
Yes. Okay,
ACL,
so we'll be good.
We'll be good. We'll be good. We'll be good.
The next year might be.
It'll be like 2 months before.
I don't know. We be liking to travel. We be liking.
No, and I genuinely feel like we're about to be traveling an absurd amount.
Yeah, like give me those points. I know. Like swiping my credit card. Give me all of the points.
I mean, this is the first time I haven't taken a friend trip like. Or I had a friend trip planned, and like it's April and I haven't been on a trip this year, which I don't remember the last time that's like happened.
No, I agree. I think it's just because we all have such big things going on in like the first half of the year. But we still need to make our Europe trip happen. The fact that we have not been to Europe.
I know. I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be, if not next year, the next year for sure.
Yeah. Well, and we're all gonna be making a little more money.
That'll be people's 30th, right?
Oh my god.
No, not next year. Yeah, the year after next year.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That'll be people's 30th.
It will be our 30th.
Not mine, but y'all's.
Yeah, it'll be mine. Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I do think that like also the older we get, the more I like realize that my parents were like kids raising kids, right? Yes. Do you ever think about that? Like the fact that...
God.
Do you remember the moment that your parents became people to you? Or like a time where you were like, damn, I think my parents are just like people.
Yeah. I mean, I had glimpses of that growing up. Not a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And it's like sometimes, depending on the situation, it can like break your heart.
100%.
And you're just like,
the perspective of that is like, whoa.
You're like, this is like my parent. Like I am now their entire life.
Yes.
Like they had an entire life before me and my brother and my sister. And like now we are their entire life. And like that's going to be us one day. And like that's crazy.
And it's crazy because like we've really got like a few more years before like that kind of starts happening.
And then you see people like, even less like because people have their own families.
We gotta soak it up. We gotta soak it up these next few years. We gotta really live it up. Like, enjoy the hell out of the latter half of our 20s.
I know.
For sure. I'm excited for it, though.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna have a good time. I think everyone's getting a little bit more settled and, like, their jobs and things like
People say your 30s are your best years.
People do say your 30s are your best years.
I know Natalie doesn't like getting older. I don't really mind getting older. I don't know. I might not be saying that by the time I turn 30 if, like, I'm not where I feel like I want to be.
Yeah.
I feel like
30 is like a milestone marker for some reason. And I don't know if, I would be interested to know if guys feel this way or if it's more pressure on women because we're expected to have babies within the next few years after that.
Yeah.
That would actually be an interesting question.
I
think
we get the short end of the stick with that.
Yeah.
And my manager was actually telling me today that she's 34 and they said that she had a geriatric pregnancy.
My God. Geriatric?
She's 34. And they were like, well, it's because you're going to be 35 by the time that you have the baby. So, like, when you're 35, it's, like, called geriatric pregnancy.
Oh, my.
I was like, that is terrifying.
See, and that's one of the things that I, like, because I've said before that I'm here nor there on, like, kids or like, having them or not. And I think that is probably the one thing that's, like, I really don't get down with is, like, the biological clock and, like, what that does. Because it really does make you feel like you have to have it all figured out, like, within, like, the next few years. And it's, like, that's so much pressure. And, like, it's I think
without that, people wouldn't be saying, oh, I want to be married by this age, have kids by this age. That would not be a thing at all.
Exactly.
At all.
And it's like men don't really have that because, I mean, they can have babies till they're 80 years old. Like,
and they do.
And they do.
And they do.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, Nick Cannon's got, like, how many kids now?
Yes,
like,
dude.
And
like,
we're over here with a certain number of eggs that become geriatric.
At the age of 35?
Oh, my God.
That means within the next, which I guess when you say 9 years, it sounds like a long time. But, I mean, within the
last 9 flew by.
Yeah, like, so, shit, true. So, I'm like, 9 years, I'm supposed to have a baby, or it's going to be a geriatric pregnancy.
Oh, my God.
So.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
No. We're not there yet. We're going to keep living our single girl lives.
Yes. I even told Natalie, I'm like, you're not allowed to have a baby yet. It's way too early.
No, way too early. I'm not ready for baby showers and things like that. I'm just like, so even the wedding showers, I was like,
this is
happening.
No, I know. I was like, we're not old enough to be doing this. Like, that's how I felt, truly. I was like, we're not old enough to be.
It's crazy, but I feel like everyone our age is like, we're starting to see a lot more of like wedding announcements and engagements.
Yeah. I do, what's crazy though? I do think that moving out of, well, I guess I'll still be in the South. You will not be in the South. I think that moving out of the South will change that completely.
That will be an interesting thing to see.
I don't really think people our age are getting engaged and stuff as much. And then,
well, I think Austin even will be like that as well because it's such a transplant city. Like, I don't think that it's like a super Southern, like, vibe.
I mean, on my Facebook, I would say I have people obviously that I'm friends with from like high school, and they're all married,
babies
on baby number 2 at the age of 26 years old or 27.
It's like very common.
Yeah, very. So I see a lot of that from people from like my high school and stuff, but I don't feel like it would be the same.
No, I don't think it would either. Which is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great.
I think it would be great as well. I think it would be cool, both of us moving to transplant cities where so many people like aren't from. Because you've even said before, like, when we've been out in Atlanta and people are like, well, where are you from? And we're like, what do you mean, where are we from? We're from here.
I feel like it's been happening more and more, like, as of late.
I mean, too many damn people move to Atlanta,
That's
first of all.
True.
We don't need any more people.
Well, we're leaving, so it's fine.
Y'all can replace
But yeah, like a month ago at Lady Bird, I felt like every person I talked to they're like, oh, like, so where did you move from? Or like, where are you from? And I was like, Gwinnett County, like an hour away from here. Exactly. And they were all from like different places. So,
I feel like that goes to say, like, I also think we're at the age where people are starting to like make big moves. Yeah. I don't feel like I've been ready for it up until now.
Yeah, it was never even a thought of mine.
But you're like what kicked it off, honestly. Like you saying, and then it was like Mackenzie, and then it was like,
I was
like a whole thing.
I genuinely, this is going to sound so weird, but I literally woke up in the middle of the night one night and I was just like, I have to leave here. I love that. Like, I was like, I have to move out. Like, I have to go. I was like, I cannot be here. Like, I was like, when my lease is, I'm out. I don't know why. I was just like, I have to leave.
I love that,
to go.
Though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like life telling you that like it's like, this is happening.
I was just like, there's absolutely just no way that I can just like stay here. Like I was like, there's just not that's just not an option.
I feel like I've done my growth here. I feel like I've hit the ceiling of like what the city kind of has to offer me and like what the relationships obviously outside of my like core group kind of have to offer me. And like, I just feel like I've done it. I love my life here. We have so much fun.
I am not like, it is not lost on me that I could go somewhere new, and for the first few months I could be like, damn, like I really miss Atlanta. Like, I that's a very real possibility. Or, you know, I could leave and in the first week I could be like, I'm so happy I left. Like, this is exactly what I was hoping for. But I just know that both can be a very real reality
at the same time.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'm interested to see, but I am not keeping my expectations too high. I'm not keeping them low, but I'm not thinking it's just I'm gonna go and it's gonna be like the most amazing thing and like I
don't know.
Yeah, just don't know. Just don't know. Absolutely necessary.
Are there any big lifestyle changes you're wanting to make, like with this whole new place type thing? Is there any like things that you're wanting to change or do differently or anything like that?
I have been trying to, ever since the new year, be a little bit healthier, which I feel like a lot of people have. I've never been someone that considers myself a healthy person.
You don't need to be, because you're just a naturally healthy looking person.
Yeah, but like actually being healthy is different, you know?
Yes.
And so, since this year started, I've been trying to drink a lot more water. I've been trying to get my steps in. You've been
only consuming cookies once a week.
I've been.
This girl eats cookies.
I was eating cookies 3 times a week minimum, and that's not an exaggeration.
Bridgette's chocolate chunks are the best cookies.
But now I only eat them once a week. So
so
I limit
progress
myself.
Progress has been made.
I've been drinking green juice every morning. Yes. Been doing that. I've been trying to read a lot more.
Okay.
I've already read. I'm on my 3rd book this year, which is like last year I think I read like 4 books total, maybe. And I'm on my 3rd book. I've just been telling myself when I get in bed, which is, I do not follow this 75% of the time, rather than get on my phone, I'm like, let me just read, or I'll get on my phone for a little bit and then I'll read till I fall asleep. Yes. So that's been helping me too. I was only really reading like self-help books last year, but now I'm reading like fiction, like love stories.
It's good to mix it up because like I feel like there is a toxic culture sometimes around the whole self-help. And you get on TikTok and it's like you need to have this routine and that routine and my 5 to 9 before my 9 to 5 and
God, I'm sorry, I can't with that.
It's a lot.
I'm like, okay, anyways.
I just feel like it sometimes makes you feel worse about yourself rather than like motivates you or makes you feel better.
And I just feel like a lot of it is fake.
A lot of it's done specifically for that one reel that they're going to post.
And like you think that it's like, you think this person does this every day? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I think the key is to like find the routine or the things that like make you feel good and that are like doable for you, and then do them. Like you don't have to do the whole kitchen sink worth of habits.
Yes, God.
To be like a happy, successful person. You really don't.
Exactly.
It's like what feels good for you and what makes you feel like good on the inside and like excites you to do every day, then like those are the things that you do.
And I know that we've talked about this before. We heard in a podcast, and I also saw like an article where this is like an official study about what actually makes people happy.
Yes.
is the relationships, the quality of the relationships that they have in their life. Not money, not being skinny, not whatever it is. It's the quality of relationships that you have in your life.
And like that is what the energy should be put like most into, because like if you can cultivate that, and like the quality of the relationship that you have with yourself, right? I feel like the quality of the relationship that I have with myself like is directly shown by the quality of the relationships that I have with others, right? Like that's something that I feel like I've learned so much about myself in my 20s is like when I fall apart on the inside, everything else falls apart around me.
And it's so hard sometimes when you're in a moment of like turmoil, even if it's a day, if it's a month, to like know that you're in it.
God, yes.
Until you're out of it and you're looking back and you're like, I was like maybe not like the best at that time, like right? Maybe I was going through something, but like you don't know it when you're in it a lot of the time. You're just like, this was normal, this is fine, and then 2 months pass and you're like, that wasn't normal or fine. Like, that wasn't normal or fine.
Yeah, maybe made some questionable decisions.
Making the questionable decisions is real.
It's so real, and I make the worst decisions whenever I'm in like that headspace. And that's, I don't know. I feel like at the beginning of the year, I was on such like a get my shit together wave that I went so hard with like the self-help and the habits and the do and like I do feel like I needed to be like that heavy in the beginning just because it was like such a lifestyle change, but like I feel myself like slowly letting up on it and like finding like a healthy kind of rhythm with it. And, like, I feel better on the inside than I've felt in, like, a long time.
Really? Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I feel like you're saying you're kind of in that same space, too, where, like, you're just really focused on you and, like, it's been really healthy.
Yeah. And I always say that, like, I love to journal and I love to write about exactly how I feel in a moment in time, because it's helpful for me to go back and read something and be like, okay, 2 months ago, I was feeling like this and I'm not feeling like that anymore. So this is progress.
Do you know journal, like, write out everything that happened in the day? Do you journal when like events happen, when something happens? Like, what does journaling look like? Because it looks different for everyone.
Yeah. And I feel like for me, it could be, I could write a sentence or two one day, or I could write like 4 paragraphs. Yeah. It really just depends. And I've tried to do better at journaling both good and bad things.
I did listen to something about that, about being, keeping some of those habits that make you feel good even when you do feel good. Yeah. And sometimes it's really easy to only do it when it's bad. Like telling your friends only bad things.
Yeah. You should also say the good.
You should also say the good, right? So yeah, I feel like that's sometimes hard to remind, because you're like, why do I need to journal about it? I feel good. Like, yes. But yeah, being able to go back and read like the good things that happened too.
It would be very helpful, because it'll be times when obviously if I feel like I'm going through something, I'll have like a journal post every day or every 2 days. And then like when life is great, I won't have one for like 2 months.
And you're like, but damn.
But like I should write about the good things also, you know. But
I fall off when things are good too. But I don't journal, like write out things that happen. So I've tried to do that, and it just, I can't. I don't know. It just doesn't do anything for me. I gratitude journal. So I like write down, I'm grateful for this, like most nights. Yeah. Like I try to do that. And that's really the only type of journaling I've been able to get into. I don't know why. I've never been.
I journal like I'm talking to somebody else.
I've tried to do
not that. To my, as not if I'm talking to myself, is like if I'm telling a story to somebody else.
Oh, see, I wish I could do that.
I don't know.
I tried, and it just doesn't. Maybe, though, I like that you type your journal.
Yes.
You don't write
or
your
on
journal.
My phone, too, which
I
is very
like
helpful.
that, and maybe I should try that, because there's something about, like, sitting there and writing out. I'm just, like, I don't write with my hands anymore. Like, I just don't.
No, my handwriting is terrible. When I sign birthday cards, I'm like, oh, God, fuck. Shit.
Like, oh, God, we are on our devices 24/7, so I feel like I just like kind of lose the part of me wants it in my handwriting so I can go back. Dude.
Also, if I write it, I would write so much. I'm just able to get out my thoughts so much faster when I type it.
I think that's the problem. It's like it takes forever, and I'm just like, my hand hurts.
Your hand hurts?
And
yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not as fun. So maybe I should try doing it digitally.
Yeah.
And seeing if I prefer that better. But I do think journaling is such a one of the really good habits, if you're going to choose one to try.
Yeah.
Is to get into the journaling thing.
Yeah.
Because I do think, and I know some people like, I had an ex that wrote like song lyrics instead of like, writing out like journaling. Like he would write song lyrics because that's just was
that sounds hard.
But he said that it just flowed. Like he would just like flow.
I love
so
that.
I'm like, that's another perspective on journaling. I mean, I've heard so many different types of journaling, and like I don't think that there's like a right way or wrong way to do it, but I do think it's a really good habit to do. I've been trying to wake up early and work out. You've been
on that, and that is hard to do.
It is so hard. I've never been good at that in my life.
That's wild.
I got my gym membership back today at the Forum.
Shit. Everybody be going to the Forum, dude.
Everybody be going to the Forum, and honestly,
like,
it was so
I don't even work out, but I'm like, damn, should I go to the Forum?
Man, it was so crowded when I was in there. I was like, go home.
But I feel like it motivates you a little bit better than just going to like an apartment gym, maybe.
No, it does, 100%. And also, like, I want to look good because everyone in there looks good.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
Like, everyone in that gym is honestly like there's no one in that gym. But no, yeah, definitely getting my self-help stuff was a big goal for this year, and like something that I want to, obviously the not drinking was a big one for me for this year.
That's absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Respectable.
Yeah. And then just like, I like have my vision board and stuff, and I think I wrote on there like I just want to feel like my life is moving in a positive direction this year. That was like really my overarching like goal.
That's a really good goal, and I've never really viewed it like that. Do you feel like it has been so far this year? Yeah,
I felt like my life was like literally at such a standstill last year. Like I had my career was going nowhere. I was in a dead end relationship. Like I just felt like I had. Like, my friendships were just kind of like, I was in a shitty headspace.
Yeah.
I mean, you even told me that there was a point last year where you were like, what is Maddie? Like, where is she?
I said, like, I thought we lost you.
Yeah, like, I was just not, it was blah. All of last year was just, that is the word that I would use to describe it. And so, like, I just wanted this year to feel completely different.
Yeah.
And, like, so far, yeah.
I feel like the second half of last year was like a fever dream. I don't know.
It was
for
weird.
Me too. It felt like
weird.
It felt like a fever dream. This year, for the most part, has been like really good for me. Obviously, there's been some little hiccups here and there, but like overall, the year has been like really great. And I just feel like the last half of last year just felt so weird. And
but I feel like it was the universe preparing us for like let's get it all out. Let's all the rust has got to go out with the old and with the new type of thing. Like I don't know. I just feel like, you know, you had a lot coming at you at the beginning of the year, but I feel like you like handled it so well. And now you're in this space where you're like ready to go and like spread your wings. And I feel like everything happens.
Everything happens for a reason, and that is why I'm a delusional optimist, and when bad things happen, I am like, this is somehow gonna turn out good. Don't know how, but
look at how we just brought it right back around to where we started. I think that's a good place to end it. Look at us. It's like we've done this before or something. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining us on another episode of Do the Work. I'm so happy Bridgette came. She is the very first guest on the episode.
I've been the first guest twice now.
Yes, she has. She got to hold the title twice now. I'm so happy to have you. It will not be the last time.
No.
This was super fun. And
I love you.
Yes, I love you too. All right. Thank you guys so much. We will see you back next week.
Bye.
And that's a wrap. A solid hour. That's good shit.
How long do you